All right, so here's the deal. I was scrolling through Facebook the other day. We all know Facebook can be a little toxic, right? So I came across a post and it was like, hey, I'm looking for training for some of my younger guys, my junior techs. What can you suggest? So I go in there, and I suggest my normal Safesa, as well as, hey, reach out to manufacturers tech support department. A lot of them have stuff online they can point you the right direction. And there's a lot of people supporting the same kind of comments and, do this, do that. But I seen this one reply and it struck me, and I'm gonna put it in here. I don't care. I'll call the person out. It is what it is. And he said, "These young people just don't want to work or don't want to learn." Something along those lines. And I'll put it in here so you can see it. And that really struck a nerve. I used to think the same thing. And that's such an old school, played out mentality. That needs to go away. That is not doing us any good as an industry or as people. I get it. Maybe you were more gung ho back in the day, so be it. But that doesn't mean everyone doesn't want to work or they don't want to learn. Maybe you don't have the right skills to teach somebody or to figure out how someone learns and they can't learn from you. So instead of you blaming yourself or trying to fix the situation, you blame that person. And that is uncalled for. And that is not really, that's not a good way to teach anybody or to, try to lead. So what I like to do is I try to talk to people and figure out how they learn and try to tailor what I'm teaching them to that. Because in the end, we all got a job to do. We all need more people. And let's take the time to really pour into these young people and help develop them. Everyone learns differently. If you've been doing this for 20 years, 15 years, the changes in the last 15 years, 10 to 15 years is astronomical. Everything has a screen on it, everything has multiple boards, miles of wire. I give a guy a hard time I work with. He's been doing it 40 plus years. When he started, he could carry like 20 parts and fix dang near everything on the first time because everything used common parts. Everything had the same contactor, same thermostat, that kind of stuff. And it was commonality. You could fix a lot of stuff. You can't do that anymore. Everything's pre proprietary for what it is. And it's a lot more complex, man. Back in the day, you had an oven, it had a thermostat. Most ovens didn't have high limits and still don't have high limits. A contactor for the electric elements, some wire. Most of your timers were just a mechanical timer you twist turned and it went off. They weren't tied into anything. I mean, if it was gas, I had a gas valve. If it was electric, had contactor and elements, maybe a high limit and a blower motor. But nowadays things are so complex and so crazy that you can't expect people to fix everything the first time. And if you did, you'd be pulling a semi and you still have instances where you couldn't fix stuff. So, I mean, I have fryers that have 5 boards per side, and they auto filter, they auto top off, they go up and down. I mean, they have grills that pretty much cook a burger on its own. You put the burger down, you press a button, and it does it. I mean, stuff is so complex and has changed so much in the last 10 to 15 years, let alone 25, 30 years, that these older guys have to realize they need to change how they train. Just because you had a week or 2 weeks and you were thrown to the wolves, that's me, doesn't mean that we're going to get away with doing that now. This stuff is way more complex and way more detailed. I mean, some of these pieces of equipment have 5 or 6 different voltages in them: DC, AC, 24, 12, 5, line voltage. I mean, it's crazy the things that, some of this stuff does. So we need to reevaluate how we teach younger people and get them engaged and figure out how they learn, or we're not going to be able to turn this around. That's just my thoughts, guys. Tell me what you think.